warning, this is going to be about my experience at the Manchester Arena on the 22nd of May 2017, the Ariana Grande concert. This is going to be my, this is going to be my kind of view on what I saw, what I experienced, and just basically a view from my eyes. My phone has had a factory reset. I cannot look back on photos. I think I've got like 2 saved, which I will insert at which is basically a before us at the concert, and then I think it's like 5 AM after the concert. Yeah, this is basically going to be a vlog of what I experienced, what I found. I wasn't going to make this video. I was never planning on making this. I've only decided to, I think, because I've just moved house. I've moved from Manchester to my dad's house in Usk, and then I've moved from Usk to crashing at my boyfriend's, and now we've moved into our own house in Cardiff. There's 3 of us living here, and I've just been going through all my stuff, you know, like sorting boxes, doing everything. Sorting through my boxes, sorting through everything, sorting through and kind of unpacking. And when I was looking through one of my bags, I found a bus ticket. This bus ticket is from the 22nd of May. It is a bus that I caught from Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester, and I caught it to basically the end of my street. God, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. Yeah. So, how it started. So, I saw Ariana Grande when she came to Manchester. I think it was in 2015 or 2014. It was one of those years. I saw her in the Manchester Arena. I was on the floor. I was fairly close to the stage, and I had an amazing time. I went on my own. I'm quite used to doing things on my own. I feel quite independent. Yeah, I went to the concert 2-3 years ago, and she was incredible. And in my final year of uni, she came back to Manchester, so I kind of said to myself, hey, this would be really great to go. So I sorted out, I bought my tickets on the pre-sale, and it was very, very exciting. I had this ticket on my fridge for like 5 months, something stupid like that. It was just sat there. And then comes the day of the concert. So there's me, you know, I got 5 days after my degree. This is Monday the 22nd is the day of the concert. And then on the Friday was the end of my degree. I finished my entire degree up in Manchester. I get to come home. So this is like quite a big week. This is very exciting. It's going to be incredible. Like my emotions are very high, but also kind of like I'm feeling up and down. So I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of like the end. So I'm very excited, but it was almost like a book opening and closing. In my first year I saw Ariana Grande, and in my 3rd year I saw Ariana Grande. So out of my degree and the end of my degree I get to see one of my favourite artists, and the course I did was musical theatre. I have loved singing. I love being creative, I love singing. And so Ariana Grande for me was this big deal. Like, she's got the amazing, she's just insane. I'm sure you all know who she is. I'm going to this concert. There are a couple of people in my class going. So I'm going to this concert. I go on my own. I make friends with these girls next to me, because I'm like, hey, we're going to be here for the whole concert, you know. I didn't buy any merch before the show. I didn't buy any merch. I was like, I want as much dancing room as I can get, you know. You only have like this much space between the seat and the person in front of you. So I'm like, great, okay, you know, I'll have all this space to dance if I don't go and get merch now, so I'll save it till after the show. We'll go afterwards, we'll go get a Mackey's on the way, you know. I go to this concert. I am sat there and these 2 girls next to me. They were absolutely lovely, and if you watch this video, please reach out to me, because I have tried to find you and make sure that everything is okay with you guys. Their names were Emily and Alice, or Ellie and Alice. I think it was Emily and Alice. And they were so lovely. We had a great time. The younger one, she was a bigger fan, and it was just a great time. We had a great time. So we watched the show, you know. The acts are incredible. I'm having the time of my life. And the end of the concert, you know, it comes, and So I'm still there kind of having a little chit chat with the girls now, off on my phone charger whilst we're there. And yeah, so the end of the concert happens and we're still there talking, you know, and so we're there chatting for like 2-3 minutes, and then I kind of gather my things together and I say to them, and I like on my heart, this is what I said. I said, so you girls are going to be okay getting home, aren't you? Like, you're not going to die or anything on the way, because, you know, I'm over dramatic, so everything is over dramatic. And they say, no, we're fine, we've got a lift, like, we've got it all organised, they're waiting outside, it's going to be fine. So I'm like, great, awesome, fab, they're fine. So we then kind of together, we step up a row on the seats, because they were moving quicker than our line. And then I hear this god awful loud sound. Oh god, my heart's going. I hear this sound that is... There are times in your life when you know something is not right. I have never felt fear in my life as when I hear this loud sound and then I hear a bunch of people running. Like, you see a bunch of people running kind of back into the arena and screaming, and you're just kind of like when the sound happened, everything kind of went quiet and people were just like confused looks to each other, and then this kind of uproar starts and it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's just everybody screaming. And I looked at the two girls, they kind of looked at me, we were just kind of looking at each other like, what the hell was that? And so I just kind of shouted, I was just like, run, get out, run, just go. So they start running, I'm kind of looking around, just like, oh my god, and it's kind of this fight or flight moment, and I'm kind of frozen. I have these, everything is just racing through my head, and I'm like, am I going to die? Is there a gun I'm going to walk in? That was a bomb. That, like, I've never heard, I was always afraid to watch the news. I never watched the news, so I never heard like bombs exploding before. But you just know. And it's kind of that, like, people started saying, oh, it was just a balloon, or it was just a speaker blowing. I know the sound of a speaker blowing. I know the sound of a balloon popping. It was not. It was most definitely not. So I head upstairs into kind of the area you go in before you go into the arena, and I'm kind of looking around, and I kind of just stand there, people are running, and I'm in this little bubble, and then I see I'm petrified. Like, the reason I'm still is because I'm there and kids are like, oh, it's just a balloon, parents are saying to their kids, like, it's just a balloon popping, no, it's just a speaker blown, no, everything's fine, let's get out, like, trying to calm their kids down. But I kind of, you know that it's not. And then I see these two little kids, like, they have to be like 7, 8 years old, and they are also kind of looking around just alone. So I'm like with these two kids, I'm like, come on, let's go, let's get down. So after like it felt like an eternity just stood there, I take them down the stairs outside, so we're going down these stairs, everybody's running, it's all kind of crazy and hectic, and like, I'm 21, I don't feel like an adult, so I'm like, not that I don't want to be responsible for these kids, but I know there's somebody who is I knew there was going to be somebody who was better to look after these children, so I get these children out and I see the closest adult, who must have been like 35, maybe 40, and I pass them over, and I'm like, please, can you take care of these kids? I don't know who they are, but I don't feel in this moment responsible enough to take off. And they were just like, yeah, sure, fine, go. So I'm going. I just started running and trying to connect. Like, whilst I was on the stairs, whilst I was on the stairs, I, for some reason, my uni has a group chat. It's, you know, musical theatre, we all have a group chat that we're in. And one of my first reactions is when I was going through the doors into the area where you can buy like merch and that, I got to that area and I just put in the group chat like, was that a bomb? And people kind of started replying like, what are you on about? Like, what are you on about? What was that? Like, what are you talking about? yeah, so I put that in the group chat, and then people started phoning and contacting the people on my course that were there and making sure that we were all okay. I ended up just running. When I got out of the building, I just started running. I didn't know where I was going, and all I could hear was sirens. There were just sirens everywhere. They were so loud, and there were so many of them. And I was just running and running and running, and I was trying to get my phone to connect. I think I tried calling people about 30 times. There are pictures on my Twitter. I'll find them and get them up in this video somewhere. I'll obviously hide the names, but you can you'll see how many times I've tried to call people. And it was just, I have never felt fear like I felt fear in that moment. I've never worried for my life like I felt in that moment. I've always been quite I've struggled with mental health issues before. I've struggled with anxiety, with panic disorder, I've been on tablets, depression, all of that, but I've never felt fear and so alone and so not in control of my own life as I felt running through the streets of Manchester, not knowing where I was going, not being able to get through to anybody, not being able to contact anyone, so being completely alone. And I never wish it on anybody, because I've never felt such just fear. It was just fear. I'm running through the streets, and then I finally get far enough away where I can get in touch with one of my friends, who is an absolute angel, and I'm so grateful for her answering the phone. I'm again not going to name any names. I don't want anybody to kind of get anything, privacy and all that. But she answered the phone and she kept me talking, and it didn't seem like such a big deal at the time. I was just like, oh, something's happened, I'm running through the streets, I'm crying, everything is kind of a blur and everything is terrifying right now. And then I got off the phone to her and I found some other people who were at the concert. They were like a group of 4 people, and they said that they'd seen bodies on the floor. And it was kind of, then I was just like, yeah, that wasn't just a balloon, that wasn't just a speaker blowing, that was 100% something bad happened. And I knew I was, the crazy thing is had I not made friends with those 2 girls next to me, that Alice and Emily, I would have been where it went off. That would have been me. And I don't want to be one of those people who's getting sympathy and, everyone's like, oh, what if, you can't say what if. But it's all like kind of chance. And chance had it that day I was not feeling anxious and I was able to make friends with the people around me. And that saved my life, which I'm so grateful for my life, but I'm also really, really struggling. I've lost a stone in weight. I have I'm struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms, and I am not the same person that I was, and I've seen some really awful things on social media, and apparently I'm a snowflake because, oh, I was there, blah 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 blah. Everything sucks. I just remember running. I am running through this city. I've quite often felt alone in Manchester during my 3 years in my degree there. I've often felt alone, and it's not that I struggle making friends, but I don't like social events. I really struggle with social events. I find people intimidating, and I don't know, being forced to have fun and being forced to go out and do things. I think that's kind of depression again. To go to the Ariana concert was meant to be a huge treat, and it turned out to be one of the things that's made my life most difficult since. I've struggled with suicidal thoughts since the concert. I've struggled with anxiety. I've struggled with depression, really heavily with depression. I'm struggling with food still. I don't sleep. I sleep about 3 hours a night if I don't take sleeping pills. I'm very grateful for Wales and free prescriptions, because I've found everything very difficult since the Ariana Grande concert, and I would not wish how I have become on anybody. This has been one of the most challenging things I have experienced in my life, and I've experienced some really crappy things. I've struggled with depression, I've struggled with all of this, but I have never felt so awful as I've felt since this concert. I've cut all my hair off. It used to be, like down here, just to try and feel something, because I'm really struggling. I get low mood a lot. Low mood is a very, very awful thing to try and get out of. I honestly wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And for the people saying, you're a snowflake, people are finding ways to laugh at this situation and laugh at the 22 people who fucking died. And I just hope it never happens to you, because my heart is broken 20 times over. The people who were murdered, the people who were killed, the people who died, and the people who were physically injured like that, you'll carry that for the rest of your life. But also I feel the people with mental health issues and mental health struggles since have a kind of acknowledgement that we've deserved. Yes, my body is not physically injured, but my mind is broken and my heart is in 10 different places. And I feel that I was in block 113, somewhere in the middle, and two lovely people to my left. We had a great time, and there was kind of like a family to my right, and everybody around us was having a great time, and it's really just bizarre to see how it went from everybody having such a great night to running in fear of my life, wondering, do I lie down? Do I lie down on the floor and is there a gunman coming in? Is there going to be a second explosion? And I think just that level of fear and running through the streets. And then following the event, I cried so much. I cried in uni. I cried, we were doing our final show and we were in a theatre, and I just sit there and just, tears pouring down my face. Just looking like a twat. I look like an idiot. I don't know. Yeah, I've never felt heartbroken. I've lost people through my life. I've lost a lot, and I am a very empathetic person, I'd like to think. And I like to connect with people. Another thing is my memory has been an absolute disaster since it happened. My memory has been absolutely shocking. I'm forgetting everything. I've had to buy a diary to write things down because my brain just can't handle it, and it's really shitty. But my brain I can't remember things. I'm forgetting everything, and I have to write down when I've got work, if I'm meeting a friend, if there's somebody coming to our new house, we got a plumber and that. 21-year-old, I shouldn't have memory problems. But I do, which is not fun. But there's a lot of different symptoms that I'm dealing with, and I'm also dealing with this level of guilt, because if I hadn't made friends with those girls next to me, it would have been me. And instead of it being me, it was some kids and their family. And I don't mean for this to kind of devalue anybody else's feelings. I don't want this to devalue anybody who was injured or anybody who died. I just want this to be an account that is out there, that I have spoken of how I feel, of what I experienced. Yeah, I've got a bus ticket here, so it happened at 25 to 11, and I got a bus at 10 past 11, so there's that kind of half an hour period of me running through the streets completely on my own. And then I'm sat there on the bus. I'm sat there on this bus, and I am sat there crying, my eyes out and kind of shaking, and my eyes are wide, and I'm watching everything around me, making sure, I looked like a right idiot on that bus. And then I just got off the bus and went into my house, and it kind of seemed like such a surreal ending, and it is so surreal finding this bus ticket. For anybody who's questioning it, that is $2.30 for a ticket. I don't know if you can see there. 11, it's 23:10, 20 past 11. But this was my bus ticket from getting it home. I've got my ticket in a box somewhere that I kind of don't want to look at. Yeah, running through the streets of Manchester completely alone, hearing all these sirens. My my heart breaks for everybody who lost somebody in that attack. My heart breaks for anybody who is affected to any degree. If your life is altered in any way, then I offer my heart to you. It's not that I'm like this snowflake that I was there, and it's not that, oh, I was alone so everything's 10 times worse. If I'd been with other people, could have felt comforted by, it might have helped, who knows. Luckily, when I got back to my house, an absolute angel from my university, she insisted that I stayed at her house that night, and I will be forever grateful for the support that I received that week, because she comforted me. Like, it was a bunch of people, they kind of held me as I just cried and hurt. Very, very grateful for the people that comforted me on that week. I would probably not be in the position I am now, even though I still feel like absolute crap. I don't know, I thought I would have been fine to stay on my own that night. I was like, I don't want to go back out, I don't want to see people. But luckily, even just lying there next to somebody, like I didn't sleep that night. I didn't sleep a wink. I slept probably about 5 hours the entire week in total. Yeah, I honestly would not wish how I feel on anybody. Thank you to anybody who's made it to the end of this. So thank you and goodbye.